In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Aria Operations REST API. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Brian Watrous from VVork. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about automating, programming, and monitoring in VMware environments, you're in the right place.
All right, let's get started. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to authenticate to the Aria Operations REST API. Let's go see how to do that in the lab environment. In the folder labeled Authentication, we have an operation defined called get authentication sources. In this operation, and all the operations that we'll be performing, the Aria Operations REST API's URLs begin https:// followed by your Aria Operations server, followed by /suites-API. And then the remaining portion of the endpoint URL can be looked up by going to your online documentation. So in the online documentation, which you get to by going to your Aria Operations server, followed by /suite-API, /doc/swagger-ui.html, will enable you to look up all the different operations that are available. For example, perhaps you want to look up alerts. As always, if you are not familiar with these HTTP methods, or things such as REST status codes, I would recommend you take a look at RFC 2616, sections 9 and 10. All right, let's go back to Postman. In Postman, this operation is going to get a list of all our authentication sources. Let's go ahead and send this. And as you can see, I've gotten back information in XML. The REST API for Aria Operations also supports JSON, but in my particular environment, the only authentication source that I have is my local authentication source. I have not yet connected to Active Directory or any other source, so the information that we see here is rather straightforward. As you can see, you can switch to JSON, and that's the format I'm going to be using throughout these videos. I find JSON to be easier to work with. There's far less punctuation. This operation enables you to get the access token that you'll need to perform all the other REST API operations. If you take a look here, the URL, which I looked up in the documentation, is going to give us the token that we need, but first we have to pass it some information. I'm using these two headers to put us into JSON format mode, but under body, you'll notice that we need to pass in our credentials in order to get that access token. As you can see, I've already set up some variables. If we go take a look at my environment for VVork, as you can see down towards the bottom, I have quite a number of different Postman variables set up for these operations. Let's go ahead and run this REST operation and get an access token. So as you can see, this here is the access token that we're going to need for all subsequent REST operations that we perform. Now, to make this easier for myself, I've written a script specifically a post response script that allows me to save that value. As you can see in the very last line, I'm saving that value into a Postman variable called Aria Ops _access_token.
Join me in the next video as we continue to explore the Orchestrator REST API.